Throw the bombs now!
Watch the explosion! Keep moving!
Push forward! Do not let them land!
Welcome to Rome Ready AI Stories, where today we embark on an epic journey through the rising sun's incredibly rich history. This island nation has a story that stretches back thousands of years, shaped by the forces of nature and humanity. Around 40,000 years ago, land bridges connected these islands to the mainland, allowing the very first settlers to arrive. These early inhabitants were hunter-gatherers who adapted to the changing climate, creating a unique way of life in the forests. They developed the Jomon culture, famous for creating some of the oldest pottery in the world with intricate chord patterns. The arrival of the Yayoi people brought revolutionary changes, introducing wet rice cultivation that would forever alter the Japanese landscape. Metallurgy also arrived during this era, allowing the people to forge bronze mirrors for rituals and iron weapons for war. Power began to centralize in the Yamato region, laying the foundation for the imperial line that still exists to this day. The rulers demonstrated their immense power by constructing massive keyhole-shaped burial mounds called kofun, which still dominate the landscape today. Buddhism arrived from the mainland, bringing new philosophy and architecture that would blend seamlessly with the indigenous Shinto belief system. Prince Shotoku played a vital role in adopting Chinese political structures and creating a centralized government based on Confucian principles. The capital was established at Nara, modeled after the Chinese capital, becoming a center of high culture and religious devotion. The capital moved to Heian-kyo, now Kyoto, marking the beginning of a golden age of art, poetry, and aristocratic elegance. Literature flourished during this peaceful time, giving birth to the world's first novel, The Tale of Genji, by Lady Murasaki. While the court focused on art, the warrior class known as samurai began to rise in the provinces, gaining power. Two powerful clans, the Taira and the Minamoto, eventually clashed in a brutal conflict that would determine the nation's future. The Genpei War culminated in a massive naval battle, leading to the total defeat of the Taira and Minamoto victory. Minamoto no Yoritomo established the Kamakura Shogunate, shifting real political power from the emperor to the military leader, the shogun. This era defined the samurai code, emphasizing loyalty, honor, and martial skills that would become legendary throughout the entire world. A terrifying threat emerged from the sea as the mighty Mongol Empire launched massive invasions to conquer the Japanese islands. The samurai fought bravely against the overwhelming numbers and advanced technology of the Mongol forces on the beaches of Kyushu. Miraculously, massive typhoons known as Kamikaze, or divine wind, destroyed the invading fleets twice, saving Japan from foreign conquest. Despite the victory, the cost of defense weakened the shogunate, leading to dissatisfaction and eventually the collapse of Kamakura rule. Emperor Go-Daigo briefly attempted to restore imperial rule, but the rise of the Ashikaga clan quickly thwarted his ambitious plans. The Ashikaga Shogunate was established in the Muromachi district of Kyoto, blending warrior culture with the refinement of the court. Arts like the tea ceremony, flower arranging, and no theater flourished, creating a deep cultural identity during this turbulent time. However, political disputes led to the Onin War, a conflict that burned Kyoto to the ground and shattered central authority. Japan fractured into dozens of independent states, marking the beginning of the Sengoku period, or the Age of Warring States. Daimyo built massive castles with stone walls and moats to protect their domains, symbols of both power and constant paranoia. Armies expanded to include large numbers of foot soldiers called ashigaru, changing warfare from individual duels to mass group tactics. In 1543, Portuguese traders arrived by accident, introducing firearms that would completely revolutionize the way samurai fought wars. Oda Nobunaga was the first warlord to effectively utilize these guns, organizing disciplined volleys to decimate traditional cavalry charges. Nobunaga was a ruthless visionary who conquered much of central Japan, laying the groundwork for unification before his sudden betrayal. His ambition was cut short at Honnoji Temple, where he was betrayed by a general and forced to commit ritual suicide. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Nobunaga's ablest general, avenged his master and completed the unification, rising from humble peasant origins to supreme ruler. Hideyoshi enforced a sword hunt, disarming the peasantry to prevent rebellions and solidifying the rigid class structure of society. After Hideyoshi passed away, a power vacuum emerged, and the patient Tokugawa Ieyasu made his move to seize total control. The Battle of Sekigahara in 1600 was the largest samurai battle ever fought, ending with a decisive victory for Ieyasu. Ieyasu established the Tokugawa Shogunate in Edo, modern-day Tokyo, ushering in an era of peace that would last 2 centuries. Under Tokugawa rule, Edo grew rapidly into one of the largest cities in the world, filled with commerce and culture. To maintain stability, the shogunate enforced Sakoku, closing Japan's borders to almost all foreign influence for over 200 years. Only the Dutch and Chinese were allowed limited trade at Dejima in Nagasaki, keeping a tiny window open to the outside world. Isolated from the world, unique Japanese arts like kabuki theater, haiku poetry, and ukiyo-e woodblock prints flourished among the townspeople. With no wars to fight, the samurai class transformed into administrators and bureaucrats, though they still proudly wore their 2 swords. The countryside also saw improvements in agriculture and infrastructure, supporting the growing population and the economy of the bustling cities. In 1853, the isolation was shattered when Commodore Matthew Perry's black ships steamed into Edo Bay, demanding trade relations. Perry's arrival plunged the shogunate into crisis, as they realized their traditional weapons were no match for modern Western military technology. The country split into factions, with many young samurai believing the shogun was too weak and that power must return to the emperor. Former enemies, the domains of Satsuma and Choshu, formed a secret alliance to overthrow the shogunate and modernize the nation. Civil war erupted, known as the Boshin War, where the shogun's forces were ultimately defeated by the modernized imperial army. The last shogun resigned, and power was formally restored to the young Emperor Meiji, marking the beginning of the Meiji Restoration. The Meiji Restoration was not just a political change, but a complete social and industrial revolution to catch up with the West.